Hello, everyone. This is our third edition. I'm hoping to see a lot of new faces and some familiar faces as well joining us for the Beyond series. For folks who have been joining us for the first time, first about Headstart. Uh, Headstart is a non-profit. We have been working with the startup ecosystem for the last 15 plus years, primarily based in India. We are present across 20 plus cities in India. Over the last few years, we have expanded into global markets as well. We have a very active team in Finland, Germany, and UAE now. As part of our efforts to continue to support startups and in their journey, one of the things that we realized was a lot of startups continue to look at international markets for their growth. And that's where the Headstart UAE team, along with some of the key volunteers in the India team, got together to say that, hey, how do we enable this journey much more smoother for our founders, right? And that's where on the screen you have, few of the founders from the UAE ecosystem itself who have been their journey, have done that. Folks who have, we have white folks who have lived in Dubai for 20 plus years, build that part up, to folks who have moved to Dubai first for a job and then started their entrepreneurship journey, to even having someone who directly went into Dubai to start his entrepreneurial journey over there, right? So that's a good mix of speakers that we have. And this session is all about us understanding or sharing our experiences of what is UAE market for founders, what are some of the learnings been building in this ecosystem, so that for folks who are looking, excited about expanding in this region, what does that knowledge look like? And this is a part of our overall series. We have been doing it across domains. First couple of them have been super amazing. We had a session on SaaS and then on blockchain. This is our third session on Deeptech. We're going to talk about AI, robotics, and other elements. And our final session is next week on D2C. About myself, I'm Taha. I'm with Headstart for 5+ years. I also, similar to my founders in the group, moved to UAE last year as part of my own expansion of my company. And I realized that a lot of the hypotheses that I had when I was coming into what I learned being here were very different. And I felt that, that's a common thing that founders kept asking me in my network. And that's also one of the reasons why, we thought of making this as a more holistic program to start doing that. Along with me, we have three amazing founders from the ecosystem. I'll start with first Mohammad Arshad. Arshad comes from, again, a data science background, a pure data science person who have built his entire career first in India and then came into UAE 4 years back. Started working with a couple of corporates from Nabil to Madal Futem, two very big corporate giants, local corporate giants in this region, one in real estate, other in retail, handling, again, their data science part. And like, most of us after their corporate journey realized that, hey, this is not my thing, or this is not what I'm passionate about. Entrepreneurship is something I want to drive. And that's what led him to starting Decoding Data Science, and a tech platform all about data science, enabling his passion. He is a community leader. He has built a global community based out of UAE. He is an influencer, has been actively communicating with a lot of people across LinkedIn, and has grown a follower base over there. And someone I keep seeing, very well appreciated in this entire community itself. Thank you, Arshad, for joining us today for this session. Second, we on the stage we have Bansan. Bansan is again one of the founders, like many of us, who grew up with the entire entrepreneurship mindset from day one. Post college, he has been running his ventures first back in Kerala for 12 plus years, and in their journey, and that you'll see very common in our conversation as well, realized Dubai as a market that he wanted to expand in. 5 years back in 19 is when he actually moved to UAE, started his entrepreneurship journey with World Unique Robotics, and over the 5 years have done some amazing work in UAE, and now expanding from UAE back into India as well. So that's an amazing story that Bansan has driven over here, and I would love Bansan to share some of those as well. Thank you for joining us. And lastly, we have Sathish. Sathish, again, extremely experienced folk, a way more experienced than all of us over here. That he looks super young. But someone who has been 20 plus years in the ecosystem, 15 years with one of the biggest corporates in the UAE Emirates. Majority of us would know them for some of the other reasons, traveled with them or seen some of their sponsored games as well. 15 years in that journey, he has been leading innovation. Techie by heart, he has been all about building. And 3 years before, he decided to wear his entrepreneurship hat. Did multiple ventures, scaled up, failed, took up again. But that passion is what caught him going in. Currently, he's building his AI-based video platform, product-led marketing platform that he's been working on. And he's someone who understands the innovation ecosystem over here, someone who has built in the corporate part for majority of his time in UAE, to now building a venture out. I think there's amazing learnings that we look forward from Satish also in this session. So firstly, thank you so much, Sathish, Arshad, and Bansan, for joining us for this session itself. Just to give a background to my speakers as well, right? This basically is an entire group of founders that we have that have been experiencing or thinking about UAE as a market. We have a large community that keep reaching out to us, trying to understand, hey, how is UAE as a market? Is it the right time to go? How do you prepare for that? And I felt that with the diverse experience that all three of you have, would love to go about sharing some of that learning with our entire community members itself. So I'll start with Bansan, with you first. 5 years back, after doing an entire batch first in India, then coming over here, why UAE? What made you choose UAE at that point in time?
Yeah, thank you, Taha, for that question. By the way, I just want to introduce what we are doing now so that they'll be able to relate. So, we are an organization who focus on, Deeptech, especially robotics, AI, coding, but into the education domain. Might be a physical version of companies by use of by chance, but I don't want to relate it with any of those companies, but we do our own activities, and we have our own ecosystem, our own space where people do come in. We don't have a particular age limit, different set of people come to our space, and we do create this technical ecosystem in different places. It can be a school, it can be a university, it can be a government organization, or any organization. That's what we do as a company. And to your question, Taha, yes, I started the entire activity back in Kerala, India, and because that's the place where I come from. So I did my education and everything in Kerala. So I have always, that affinity towards that Kerala market. And when we started our entire activity in Kerala with a space as big as 6,000 square feet area, and in a place called Thrissur, which is kind of the cultural capital of Kerala. And it took around a year plus for us to understand that Kerala market was not mature enough to buy the product that we are trying to cater to the ecosystem. So when we figured out that, then we thought of ways, why not? I'm talking about Kerala. Okay, I didn't even explore Bangalore or Mumbai or Delhi, but when I was trying to figure out Kerala market, it was a little difficult for me. Then since I come from a place called Kerala, if you just look around, either you will see two kind of people, either people who are basically an engineer or an NRI. That is the good or the sad part of Kerala. And I come from come towards the southern side of Kerala. So I could talk to a lot of people to understand the Dubai market especially, and understood the spend capacity of the people, and the importance that the non-resident Indians give for education when they are. India also they give it importance, but the way that they spend is a different level. So we thought of trying to attempt give a shot here. That's how I came to Dubai for the first time in 2018. And I don't know how, I just got a connect from one of my friend and just went into a investor. Interestingly, that investor is a person who has no education, and he started as a hotel waiter, and right now having around 500,000 square feet of business center in UAE. I mean, it's a huge thing. And I just went to him and explained, okay, this is robotics. And you have to understand, I mean, robotics and all will go, I mean, on top of his head. Like, he'll never understand. And I was telling that, no, this is the investment that I'm looking for, like 2.5 million dirhams is what we want. If you give 2.5 million dirham, I'll give you 50%. At the very same time, I don't have like, I just have a cent to back it for sure, nothing else. But like first day, he didn't even listen to me. But like, yeah, I mean, the second and third meeting, I don't know, somehow I could convince him for like getting like 2.5 CR, sorry, 2.5 million dirhams for just the same percentage that I've told. And we started from there. Yeah, that's how I ended up in Dubai, Taha.
Wow, wow. So, Bansan, I think it's a very interesting start of this part. I think one, Kerala, yes, growing up in Dubai, I've seen that we find Kerala to be the second home over here. But at the same time, one, I see KSM, the entire Kerala sort of, mission, spending a amazing amount of time and efforts in supporting also startups from that region into this market as well, right? So they have a very extensive program also supporting it out. So for any startup who are part of the who are from Kerala or have an office in Kerala, I would really recommend visit to the KSM office also. I think they have a lot of things happening that actually support, enable that. And not just KSM, I think we're seeing more and more state governments doing it as well. But Bansan, 5 years back, that when you came in to now, how do you see the ecosystem evolved in the last 5 years in UAE for entrepreneurs?
Okay. So when it comes to that particular thing in UAE, what I have experienced, even though like we are not taking any financial support or anything from any of the ecosystem or government initiatives, but I would say the market had grown to a level where like if you are having a right product with you, it's my experience, I don't know about others, but like if you have the right product, any organization in UAE, that's what I see, any organization opens the door for you. I'm not just bluffing because I started in 2019 and because of COVID, we had shut down. Being very frank, we had shut down. So we restarted in 2021, March only we restarted. But the very same year, we could close deals with government entities. See, for example, since we are in education, for me, my clients would be like people like ADEC or like KHDA or like ESC, Emirates School Establishment, all are government bodies. And I mean, to get to that level, it's easy. I mean, even without a heavy backing or a network, if you have the right product, I mean, right service with you, and you have some track record to show them. I mean, for me, it was easy. I don't know how, like for others, but like for me, it was very easy, and I could easily get into those ecosystem and deliver. And right now, like this, see today, like I mean, for people who are listening to me, will find it a little difficult to understand. See, in UAE, we have a university called American University of Sharjah, and that university is owned by the ruler of Sharjah. I mean, it's not like they are the patron or something. They own it. It's something they own it. And the president of that is right now the daughter of Badr Al Qasmi, who is the ruler of Sharjah. And till last year, that university was representing a particular a robotics event which is happening worldwide, where 193 countries. When I say 193 countries, you have to understand. I mean, it's just a massive thing where only one representation is allowed from that particular country. As then the representation is called Team India or Team UAE. And the interesting fact is that till last year it was AUS who was doing it, and this year we got the opportunity because of our track record. So we are not I mean, local company, we are an expat company, but like since we have showed them quality, I mean, it's fine for them to give us the opportunity to represent the country. I mean, Team UAE also. So that is the ecosystem. That's a mindset of the people here. You provide quality, then the place is yours.
No, I think very, very fair put, Bansan. I think one, of course, innovation and results matter. But one thing which I've also heard from a lot of founders is the consistency, right? This is one market that I continue to hear a lot of founders over here say that, hey, you really have to grit the first couple of years in this market to build that brand and reputation to be able to grow further. How has your experience been in the first 2 years of, I know COVID, of course, had changed a lot of things, but to starting up in that time and then now, and also, some insight that you want to give about if, let's say, any of our founders in this session right now are looking at government as a potential client, right? How should they approach it? Like, what should be their thought process? How should they plan their GTM to be able to close government clients itself?
Okay. Taha, since you talk about the consistency part, obviously that's one of the most important thing. At the very same time, beyond, along with the consistency and the quality, how you package your quality is also a big factor in UAE. See, here look and feel is very important, and they do value that particular thing. So coming back to our experience with the initial years, so the good thing that I've seen with good clients, see, I mean, in any market, like there can be like a lot of people who sometimes don't value I mean, the vendors or the suppliers' effort and all those things. But when you come when you get into like the good brands in any market over here in UAE, if you are ready, if you are able to provide the consistency and quality, the loyalty those people will have on us is also like amazing. I mean, for me, that is the experience. So we started giving good quality. They don't even go for the competitors, or like in every year they look for the pricing and all. But provided you give the quality, uh, yeah, they are fine with the pricing. But at the very same time, yeah, because of the competition coming up, or more companies exploring the market, yes, at least some clients, I mean, kind of every year do um, look into the micro aspects, and also like no, then they try to finalize. So that is also there. But if you get the right clients, if you get the right clients, sometimes it's so interesting, so I mean, exciting to see that same product, same price, same service, you get 4x, 5x price than even in the same UAE market. I mean, the simple example being like UAE might be one of the interesting place where you have schooling for around 60,000 or 70,000, I mean, like just the tuition fees as low as 80,000 rupees for a year. There are very few schools. I'm talking about a small grade to a price of 30-35 lakhs a year, where like NLCS or something like that in Dubai, I mean, taking that fees. So that kind of a wide range where like, I mean, there are schools who do research on autonomous cars, where like by Renault and all, like I have seen like universities coming to schools to to study the robotics labs and all. So to that level, like people do cater. And now, yeah, the last question. I mean, what's the GTM that like we should have in mind to get into the government thing? See, here like a lot of government activities, they have a proper vendoring system and all. Obviously, you need to have all the required licensing and other things for whatever you are trying to serve. I mean, unlike India, if you want to do some things over here, you need to have, I mean, license for each and everything. Now, for example, if you want to conduct an event, see in India, like, oh, sorry, if I'm a robotics, education company, I can conduct an event by like, I mean, taking an auditorium and all like. But here in Dubai, if you want to conduct a formal event officially, you need to have an event license, or you have to collaborate with an organization who have an event license. So you need to understand all those things. But when you understand all those things, things become very easy. So I mean, you find out those people, and then like you do the things. That's what I believe. So getting into the government thing, you need to go through their process, and once you get to do their process, and as Taha was citing, like
Bansan, how do you get that first introduction? Like, I agree, the legals and everything is, of course, the most fundamental parts of it. But how do you get that first referral to get in, to start pitching in the right product? Like you said, the right story and everything comes in. But the first contact,
see,
where did
for me, like trust me, like I didn't get anyone's support to get into the government. It was through, I mean, they publish the, I mean, for example, if something is done from the government side, they publish it in their platforms, And if your company complies all the minimum requirements, then you can directly apply for it. And trust me, you will get the opportunity from their side to present yourself. And one more thing, to get network with them. I mean, Dubai is the best place, man, because every department, be it any department, you see n number of events hosted by these organizations. I mean, if you want to, I was invited by the Dubai Police headquarters to their innovation lab. So Dubai Police have an innovation lab which is of around 15,000 square feet area, and they have a complete room with around 10, 12 3D printers. They have that, big robotic arms and other things. I'm talking about Dubai Police,
Yep.
and they want to bring in innovation there. I'm not talking about any other corporates. Now, forget about the corporates. It's happening. Ministry of Health and Prevention conduct like this innovation thing on in the month of February. Almost every department. So reaching to the director, I'm talking about the director, is an easy thing. Okay, being one fact is there for me right now. I'm having a proper backup in UAE. When I say proper backup, I have my investor, not the sponsor, investor, like who is an Emirati, who is from I mean a very high profile, like he's a diplomat, and he is the first protocol officer for the vice president of UAE, Sheikh Mansour. But like I couldn't even, use those connections to get into. See, now I'm see, might be like no, in the next year I might be using for something more bigger things. But like so far I didn't want to use it. So as I said, like whichever departments, it's for me it was an easy entry.
No, I think absolutely. Just this morning, I was having a chat with the digital economy department from Dubai, and the amount of emphasis that they focused on bringing digital innovation in this country and the effort that they're putting in, I think that is just calls out their commitment towards bringing some really good startups over here. The fact that you said that every single department has been now running these innovation centers, running these type of meetings and meetups, helps you get access. Of course, we talked about here, having that local network, having the local guy. Those are great. But, the founders themselves being present and being able to go in and have those conversations with them, I think that also works. Switching the gears, I'll come on to now the corporate side of it. And for the corporate side, I would love to bring Sathish on the spot over here. Sathish, you 15 years in corporate, Emirates Innovation, one of the biggest leading corporate in this region. One of the benchmarks that is there in this part of it. From there to now driving your own venture, how easy is for anyone to sell their product to a corporate and to product to a corporate itself? Your thoughts or your views over there?
Sure. Good, Bansan. I'm very happy hearing your background, but I would like to bring it to everybody's notice that it's not going to be a cakewalk like what Bansan had shared. It's a rare story, and we all will appreciate that and cherish that. I will share the other side of the story where it is extremely difficult to enter government or corporate or something like that if you are a startup, and if you don't have a track record and you don't have a traction or revenue, you are an early stage startup but you want to do POCs, right? So to start with, Bunsen very clearly told that he had a track record, right? So when you have a track record, when you have been there, done that, and when you have sales happening, when people come and use your product and they have given you positive feedback, and Bunsen was stressing about quality a lot, then yes, it's a big tick mark. Okay, so even after all those tick marks, there are many things which are needed. I'll explain that shortly. But if you are a startup and you are just entering the market, then I would stick on to Taha's observation that it takes 2 years for you to settle down here, build your network, go and attend those meetings which Bunsen said, join the WhatsApp groups, be part of forums like this to slowly build your network. And after that, doors starts opening, right? So there are basically two different things. It is like Apple opening a outlet here in Dubai is one style. And the second is you have your own product and you want to open your branch here, has a different, totally two different ball games, right? So for the ball game one, You have already won the trust globally. Here, you have to just go and establish your not just go-to-market strategy, just your marketing strategy and sales strategy. But if you are a startup, then you have to first win the trust of this region, right? So how do you win the trust of this region? By doing lots of POCs, especially doing POCs with the local ventures here, right? So now I'll answer the question which Taha asked. How do you enter corporate here? Entering corporate here technically is not very difficult, to be honest with you guys. It also depends on what kind of product you have. If you are a startup, if you have a product which solves only one problem in a huge department, then it becomes difficult for you to enter that organization. Why? Because here organizations live by the policy of MSA, which is Master Service Agreement. And what they generally don't do is they generally don't work with 400 vendors, 500. We are all called as vendors, right? If you have a product and if you solve their problem and if you enter their organization, you are called as a vendor. So generally, they would prefer to have a master service agreement with some established vendor who has already worked with this organization, who has already knows the SLA and things like that, right? So one easy door is to find out those vendors who has clients already, and using them as your go-to market strategy is one very good way of doing it. There are, in this region, it's also called as system integrators and enablers. So those are the guys who will be already having connections in almost in UAE. I think more than 100,000, 200,000 companies are there. So even though the region is small, every brand, every product in the globe has a branch office here, and generally they don't have their full implementation team. So the system enablers, they help to reach all these clients. So getting connected with them is a very good strategy, not just in UAE, but in MENA region. MENA region, that's one go-to-market strategy. Working with you may even call them as IT resellers. So where they have an MSA, you go and work with them. This is one. And the second way of doing is working with big shots like IBM, Microsoft, Google, Azure. All these guys, they have something called as marketplaces. Okay, and those marketplaces are online marketplaces. And it's very easy for you to go and register. You can be a startup. You would have just completed your MVP. Your product may not be that great, but still you can go. But it should have generated some revenue as a minimum benchmark. Then you can go and list yourself in all these marketplaces for a very nominal fee. What that helps is, that helps you to quickly get into the directory of this region. So if a big corporate, if a big enterprise is already working with Microsoft, then the moment there is a requirement which comes and it is published to all the vendors, it is published to even Microsoft, and that gets transferred to you. And if you are a right candidate, Microsoft will take you and they will represent you in that organization. So that's one way which has worked for last 15 to 20 years very, very easily. Of late, the third way, last way is like Bansan pointed out. Most of these organizations, they have an innovation wing. Innovation wings are the organization who does permissionless innovation and who does, proof of concepts and proof of value. So that's one door to enter into the big corporates, right? So they generally conduct hackathons. They generally conduct events. They generally open startups to come and pitch. For example, very recently, an year back or so, I mean, many programs are still happening, but, banks, they work with accelerators and incubators to invite startups to come and solve their problem, right? So that's the third way in which you can enter this organization, and that's a very effective way. There will be a little bit of competition because when there is a problem that may be solved by 10 different people. So that's where you need to tailor your solution for that specific client. You need to do a little bit of homework on who that client is. You may have a solution. As a founder, we all believe that we have invented a hammer, and whatever we see is nails, right? We say for that we can use our solution. Real estate, we can use our solution. For retail, we can use our solution. It is technology, it can, but that doesn't work when you apply for this kind of a competition. So when you apply for banks, you need to see how you tailor your presentation, your product for that specific problem. Then the chances for you to enter is really, really high. And the least common denominator for all the three approaches, which I said, is your presence here. It's very, very difficult for, we say global product, we say all those things, but those things are in paper. It's always better to have some representative here in the local market, preferably who knows Arabic. That will be great. It's not mandatory, so here everybody speaks very good English, at least 10x better than the English I speak. And even the nationals, they speak really good English. So that's not a problem. But for you to get that pulse, for you to get that, in this region, there is a word called as basta, so where you know that person and you get into the books of that particular organization, right? For that, a local presence is very nice. A person who can go and meet, who can go sit in a coffee shop, have that discussion, participate in that innovation event, share business cards, and willing to go and show a demo of that product. That will be really helpful, Taha. So these are some three. There are many other ways, but I thought of sticking to these three.
So I think very fair points, Sathish. I think this is one of the golden books in terms of how do you come in. But you also have a very interesting story. I discussing last time. I would love for others to also know, right? You being working in Emirates for such a long time, having that corporate, not just at Emirates, but other such corporates. How was your experience when you took your product to these corporates?
Definitely. So before joining Emirates, I was with Accenture in India, and before joining Accenture, I was studying and I was working, and during my times, the startup word was not popular. We used to call ourselves as IT services company, even though it is a product, and you call yourself as a working partner. There was no word called as founder and all those things. You have director and things like that. So I used to do that, then went to Accenture, then came to Emirates. And I always had this philosophy that, save something for the family and the kids and things like that, then start taking risk, right? So I got married very early, at the age of 27 itself, I got married. And after marriage, taking risk is slightly, it's a difficult proposition. So I waited till 40 to start my business. And since I had that thought that I'm going to do a startup, and I started exploring opportunities to advise other startups, bring other startups into Emirates and see how that whole process works. And we had our lab in Silicon Valley. Very recently, I had a meeting with Arshad, and Arshad was asking me, Sathish, where do I set up my startup? The first thing I said is, your core IP, take it to Silicon Valley. I still stand by that. The IP, it would be nice if you keep it there, because the value which you get from that IP there and bringing that same thing here, right? We all know about the standard use case which is discussed in India, right? Jockey is an undergarments company which is made in India. It was never popular, but it was exported from other countries to India. The advertisements came from other countries to India. Then Jockey became super popular. When they did the digging, they found out that it's an Indian company, right? So that value is definitely there in UAE if the product comes from Valley. If the IP comes from, if a tech IP comes from Valley, that product definitely has a lot of value. So coming back to the point which Taha was highlighting. So when I was doing my first startup, I didn't resign from Emirates. I was hustling. And, after my office hours, I used to go to my startup and work till midnight. And then tomorrow morning, next day morning, go back to office and things. So there was a time when my startup picked up really well. We were doing a ride-hailing service, and it was specifically designed for women and kids. We were about to launch it in 4 regions. And the investor who came with the term sheet said, boss, you can't work in an enterprise and do a startup. You have to focus full time here because we are going to invest a lot of money. And that's when I came here. But it's unfortunate that COVID started after I came. So I came out from Emirates in January. March, bloody COVID happened. Either I should have postponed this thing, or but that's fine. So once we came out, we had to put the startup on hold. But since I had taken that big decision to come out and be in that entrepreneur's journey, we started the next product, which is Veehive, which is a line from my previous startup, which is video streaming, short form video streaming for companies which are focusing on product-led growth. So to take this back to corporate, very clearly on day one, since I'm coming from a corporate environment and enterprise environment, I know that this product cannot get into Emirates unless it has A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What is that A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Are lots of checklists which big enterprises need, starting from the regulatory aspect, starting from the privacy aspect, starting from the security aspect, compliance aspect, everything. You need to have certification for all those things, and you need to get the compliance from the local authorities. Point number one. Point number two, the way you design your architecture itself is different. When you are, Microsoft has changed their architecture for UAE region. Amazon has changed their architecture for UAE region. Google has changed their architecture for UAE region, right? Because these guys, they are very, very particular about the data protection and how the data is stored and how the data is streamed and how the data is distributed. So I know that I'm not enterprise ready today, but I have that in my mind. That's what I was telling people, that 2025 is the time when I'm planning to go back and knock all the big enterprises, because I know what is needed to build that. Why can't I do that now? That needs a lot of funding. So day one, building an enterprise grade product, that's called as, right, enterprise grade product, it needs a lot of funding. Bansan was lucky, he got 2.5 million dirhams in the very first day. We are not that lucky. We have raised only $500,000 so far in 1.5 years. Once we get there, and what we are also doing is we are learning a lot from small and medium business. We are learning a lot from individual business. We learn that and keep ruggedizing the platform for enterprise. But in your case, guys, if your product is already enterprise ready, then you need not wait. You have to just start the application process, which generally comes in newspapers. Here it's very open, very transparent. People publish, it's called as tenders, similar to many other regions. It's published and you can apply, and you have to become a supplier. You have to follow that process. And once that is done, whatever new IPO or a new tender comes, it comes to your RFP, comes to your inbox, and you have to just keep on applying.
No, I think very fair point, Sathish. And that's surprising to me when we first spoke about it. But I think it's important for people to understand that enterprise over here, they require that background, not from just the experience of the company, but also from the infra that you're ready to come in. But surprisingly, a couple of weeks back, I met one of the SVPs of all the leading banks in the region. And discussion with him, I realized that, what is core to that company, right? Over there, the rules are extremely strict, right? So if it's a bank, any product which is banking and others, right, they're extremely strict about it. But if it's, let's say, a marketing for a banking company, all right, they're still very more flexible. So my interaction with him, he said that, hey, if you have a Gen AI product which can help me improve my marketing, I'm happy to explore and test it out because I'm looking for one, right? But if you have anything in banking, don't come to me right now. Because one, you need to be like really in depth into banking, which is my core, right? So similarly, also depends if you're looking at a corporate, on what angle are you looking at? If it's part of their core offering, which is great, because that's where they're going to spend the maximum amount, and then your depth is also very high. But at the same time, the other hand of it is that if you have a supporting part which is not part of their core, they may still be flexible if it's very innovative or very new. At least that's what I learned from a couple of those conversations with other key people there. So moving on to Arshad, Arshad, thank you for again joining us. You bring a very different partake over here, right? While Bansan and Sathish has gone very deep into that product space of it, you have started your journey as a venture from a community perspective, right? And I think a lot of the new ventures that we're looking at looks at community for their own growth strategy also, be it, joining community or building community itself to help them grow their business. So how has your experience been in building an AI community from UAE? And you also have very deep experience back in India as well. How would that compare from, let's say, doing the same in India versus here?
Thank you, Taha, for the opportunity. Thank you, Bansan and Sathish. It was very informative. So regarding my background, I have been working as a data scientist for around 18 years in companies. I have Hewlett Packard, Dell, Accenture, and then in Dubai, as you told, Nakhil and Majid Al Futtaim. And while I was working, I had a passion since when I was a part of the Accenture learning team to give mentorship to people in the data science and AI field, because there is no particular education system that gives you data scientist that takes, because data scientist is a skill that is a combination of programming, maths and statistics and business. And they are the people who were coming, like I was hiring, I did a lot of interviews. Some people were good coders, but they did not understand business, they did not understand maths and stats. Getting people to all these three skills overlapping was very tough. So we used to do training programs for them in-house for 3 months, 4 months. And while doing interviews, I faced a lot of challenges. And you know how Indian companies mostly are doing that also started in the late 2010s, like Infosys, Wipro, TCS. Before, they used to get people from colleges and they used to train them on Java, .NET, the bank mainframes. They were the three things, and also Hadoop, the big data. Analytics, no one used to do the training. Mu Sigma started doing the training, and then these companies started doing that. But till then, it was very tough for people to get this education. So I was doing mentoring for in Accenture, and also I was doing on the weekends as a side hustle, or as a, you can say, passion project. And where I was doing mentorship, I was available on LinkedIn, sharing my knowledge and thought. So I came to Dubai in 2020, and I was continuing this. And in Dubai, when I came, in India, I was in Bangalore, so there are a lot of data scientists, senior positions who are there, but in UAE, they were less. And I was getting a lot of, you can say, inquiries on LinkedIn for people who want to learn AI, who want to get into data science. And I was getting more traction. Then I launched my academy while I was working as an LMS platform. And while I was doing all this 3-4 years back, I was also building my LinkedIn profile. So I was doing regular posts. I had attended a lot of trainings on LinkedIn, because some of my mentors who are from the US, they told me that LinkedIn, growing on LinkedIn is very important to create a personal brand. And I was organically doing it weekly. I was putting the 1 or 2 posts, and slowly I increased. I started in 2019 with my LinkedIn account, and now I have 41,000 followers. And LinkedIn is one of my main, you say, lead generation tool for me, and all my business and everything is coming from mainly LinkedIn. So I got a lot of traction, and then I thought that so I was working in Majid Al Futtaim, and I was doing this as a side hustle. Then I thought that this has a lot of opportunity. So I quit my job and I started my own startup focusing on the academy part. And also I was doing consulting, because you cannot only have focus on academy. You need at least an ecosystem for the people who are there in your community to learn, as well as do projects for startups or for SMEs who don't have an AI and data team. They want to get projects done. They want internships, the interns to do their project. So we are training people, and we can hook them up, and they can, this is like an ecosystem that I was creating. And back then, yes, LinkedIn was there. And also this community initiative, actually, I had a newsletter, I had a LinkedIn, I had a social media platform. What triggered me to create a separate community that is outside these platforms was my LinkedIn got banned around 4-5 months back. And like, it was because of some internal bug that was there, because I used LinkedIn a lot for messaging, and they had some automated bug that they banned me, and it took me around 12 days to get it back. At that time, I thought that I needed to create another source outside LinkedIn, because if I cannot trust a social media to have all my, you can say, community sitting on. So I talked to a few companies, and luckily that time there was a company, you all know Nas Daily. He is one of the influencers. He just started this community building platform called nas.io. And I was lucky enough, I was one of the few first adopters of those platforms. So it is a community that sits over WhatsApp. So you get people on this community and they go in your WhatsApp group, and you have the whole control of this community. And what I did is I created this community. I got all my content from my LMS platform to this community. We have regular meetups, we have workshops, and this community picked up in the last, I just started the community 2.5 months back on WhatsApp. It grew. Now we have around 1,400 people in the community. We have every week, we have workshops, and mainly it is a global community. We have people from UAE, from India, from US, UK, Europe, as well as Australia as well, right? It's a we have a global community. We have, and the main purpose of this community is twofold. One is to get business people who are using AI, and second, learners who want to use. And this is really picking up, and I feel there is a lot of future, because in UAE, many people want to learn about AI. They want to understand what is the maths, what is the techniques behind this AI stuff. And there is a lot of traction that I'm getting. And because of this community, I'm also getting invited for other forums to talk about it as well. And also it is a forum for me also to invite people to come and share their knowledge. And so this is a very good experience that I had.
You mentioned about, this community having people from UAE, from India, from US, and, I'm again part of the community. I've seeing the amount of engagement that you built in, and the activeness that people have over there. And for me, for a lot of time, I thought it's a UAE based part of it, but then I realized that, you have such a diverse crowds, right? Now, one important question, one, being in UAE, how much has that helped you versus being anywhere else? In building this company? What are some of the nuances or some of the support that you were able to generate from this being present over here?
So personally, being present in UAE, right? As I was telling you earlier, also UAE is it's a global market. Like you find people from all over the world, and being positioned in Dubai. First of all, it gave me a global exposure. So people from the US region, from the Europe region, from the MENA region, as well as India and Australia, right? So Dubai, as we all know, Dubai is a brand as well. And most of the people initially in the community and in my LinkedIn. So if you see, my community is like a byproduct of my LinkedIn audience. And my LinkedIn audience initially, because I was based in the UAE, I could connect a lot of people in the UAE, Saudi region, as well as people in the UK, Europe market. So because one thing I wanted to also add in the group, that I am not doing any paid marketing. Everything, the growth is organic, word of mouth, and through my LinkedIn. And it has given me a global picture, because I am meeting many of these people who I invite as speakers. I have met them, and they are able to come and talk about their experiences. So that could not have been possible if I was sitting in India and I did not have access to meet them. Because whatever we say, online meeting is good, but physically meeting someone that has a different ball game as it is. So that exposure happened for me in UAE, that sitting in UAE, and this was one of the reasons why I had when I left my job in MAF, Majid Al Futtaim, so I had this like you can say conversation with my wife, right? Because now you have left the job, do you really want to stay in Dubai? Because staying in Dubai is expensive. And because what you're doing is remotely, you can also do it in India. My parents also told, why don't you do this work you're doing in India? I told the same reason, that if I am in India, I will not get that global recognition that I'm here in UAE, in Dubai, wherein I can meet people. And also one thing that I am really fortunate, that I am one of the ambassadors of the Coders HQ, the Ministry of UAE AI office, where they want to promote coding and AI knowledge to people. So I do regular workshops there. So these opportunities, why? Because there are very less data scientists in Dubai who are doing what I'm doing, who are not doing their core job, but they are doing community building and academy thing. So the competition is comparatively lesser for me than in India. That is also one thing that why I've picked up Dubai. And also my association with the Ministry of UAE AI is since the last 1.5 years. So I have built friends, or you can say, given lot of workshops, given lot of value. So they also are ready to give me space to do any event of my community as well. So this is, as you know, it's a win-win situation for them also, for our community, from our company as well. So I think, as Sathish also told, and Bansan also told, right? UAE government is encouraging tech startups by providing them, you can say, a lot of logistics help. They have a space that they give out free to people who want to do events, who want to use the physical infrastructure. So these are things that really are helping me in UAE.
No, I think Arshad, a very good point that you mentioned out about the entire Coders HQ, and we keep we're also working with them and seeing the amount of engagement and the drive they have, right? And similar question to Bansan also that I had earlier, right? For you, one right now with Dubai also calling out AI as the next big thing that they are also investing in, the AI assembly being announced for October happening over here, and a lot of ministries and the corporates also pushing. 3 years back it was blockchain, then we had metaverse. This year it's all about AI. That's the theme that I keep hearing from the network and the ecosystem as well, right? How does it actually help founders? And this is a question for both Arshad and Sathish as well, in terms of, one, from a ministry or from the government level, the encouragement, but at the end of the day, the actual value to startups, how does that convert over there?
Yeah, I just wanted to add one part. Then I'll so here, like as Satish also told, right? Here, if you go as a AI or data science, because I also tried knocking a lot of doors for consulting, they will not give you your internal data for any to a third party for their analysis. They will ask you to do market research type of work, or maybe they can give you some marketing project wherein they will give you access to their meta suite or little bit Google Analytics data, which is very less for real AI and data science work. So that is one thing that I feel, if you are a vendor partner of Microsoft, AWS, GCP, the big threes, and then then you can go to these companies, and with the Microsoft backing, then that is easy for you. But it's not easy for a startup to become a Microsoft vendor, because you need to have some volume and some size. So this is one thing that I face. So if people who are there in the call, if they have that backing, if they already have our vendors are of these big threes, then it is a little bit easy to penetrate. And the second thing is LLMs are very hot, the large language models. So TII, the UAE government, Abu Dhabi government, is asking for people to do use cases using Falcon, their local the large language model that they have built, to build solutions over that. So fine tune the LLM and try to solve business cases. So if any startup here who has some there are two types of AI that I tell people. One is the internal AI and the external AI. So internal AI is very tough to crack for startups, and this is what I say, because you don't get access to the data so easily, and you just hypothesize. So try to focus on external AI. Try to build something using the large language model. You have access. You can, from India also, you can get access to Falcon. Try to build a prototype. Start mailing the TII according to a proposal. If they like your proposal, they will invite you for a meeting. So that is one thing that I was thinking what to give a tip here. So this is one tip that I can give. Try to focus on external AI. External AI can be anything that is generative AI, that you can use open source data to build a prototype. And also there are tools, websites like Dubai Pulse and Abu Dhabi Open Data. Try to see if you can get some open government data and try to build a prototype, build some solution, a small prototype, and try to directly email them. They are very friendly on LinkedIn. Add people on LinkedIn from the from the government, from these. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about private companies right now, because private companies, they already have their own team and they are doing stuff. I'm talking about the government companies like RTA. These companies are actually building the data science team. Deva. So, and these they want some solutions of LLMs and all those things that you can have, send it to them. If they like it, they will call you, or you can come and talk to them and take the discussion forward.
Absolutely. I think it's a very good insight, sir. Especially the entire Falcon LLM. That's something that, I also see government pushing a lot on. And if you already build a product around LLMs, right, by tuning it to the Falcon LLMs, I think it also gives the extra edge to come into this market and showcase on their own base as well. Sathish, over to you. So the government's entire philosophy, impact on the ground, how does it look?
So I think Arshad has covered, extensively on the AI front. Pretty much same. The point which I would like to add extra is, yes, while there are a lot of regulatory barriers on inside AI and things like that, if you have your solution which can, remove that PII data and is able to do a lot of predictions based on anonymized user data, then that's also a very good entry for you. Many companies from Europe, many companies from US, the first thing which they say is, we don't want your data. You just give us the pattern, you can remove all the PA information, and we are able to run on top of it. The moment they say that, the companies here become very happy. So what some of us do is, we say that we have that capability to do it. So if you give us the data, then we will do the anonymization and all those things. Try to crack that upfront. That will give you a very fast edge. And the second thing, like Arshad pointed out, attending competitions and trying to use the local LLM models and things like that, that may be applicable for you if you are a startup and you don't know what to start. So if you want to start something fresh, then that's a good idea to go in that direction to see how you can do it. But if you already have your product, you have to just ensure that the product is sensitive to this region, so the region of UAE, right? And how do you ensure that it is sensitive? First of all, Bansan very rightly said, your product has to compulsorily look good. You're, starting from the logo, from the branding, from the presentations which you carry, from the way you come to an event and the pitch, the best foot forward is, my suggestion is, have a collaterals ready, so work a little bit on invest $10,000 on your branding, and go to Fiverr, go to this thing, make your brand look really, really good, high quality, and make your pitch less English and more powerful images. And trust me, the more better thing is, use Loom. Put your PowerPoint and add your small video, with nice coat and tie and all those stuff, and talk about your product. Try to talk about your product in less than 9 minutes. If it is possible, try to talk about the product in less than 90 seconds. So, and make that link and video ready, and always mention that, and always try to have a deck which has all the information at the last slide. For example, you need not say, for any further information, contact me. I don't have time to contact you, so that doesn't work. So what is that further information which I may need? I may want to see client testimonials. I may want to see other implementations. I may want to see an expanded deck of the same thing which you showed right now. And I may want to see your website, and I may want to directly book your time for the meeting. So ensure that these 5 points are there in your last slide. And once this collateral is ready at the maximum cost of $10,000, people even do at $8,000, $5,000. You can go to Fiverr, Giver, and things like that, and prepare that collateral with a beautiful Loom link. Then follow what Arshad said. Go to LinkedIn, start connecting to all these folks, start sending that link. Don't send. I see lots of people. I don't want to take the country's name. It may sound. I'll forget that topic. Paragraphs and introduction about the same thing again and again, coming back in your LinkedIn. I don't have time to read all those things, but so people have lost patience in reading. But there are few smart folks who send links of the video and things like that, right? So you also follow that approach. Very simple, very crisp elevator pitch, 60 seconds. I am into this. I think I'll be able to solve your problem. And here is a small material. It will not take more than 89 seconds for you to read this, to go through this document. And if you are interested, At the last page, I have given the complete details on how to take this forward. That's all. Keep this every day. Try to send it to some 100 folks here in UAE. I'm telling you, the conversion percentage is 1. You will definitely get one person every day as a contact. After some time, you will be tired with all the leads, and you don't know, you would want to come and set up an organization here. So that's a very important method which follows in this region really well. People used to make phone calls, and we used to get random calls from this real estate guys and things like that. They used to have a formula of contact 100 people, 1% will respond. But those phone call based things are going off. WhatsApp based connections are definitely working. Trust me, I'm going to say something you will not believe it. Emails still work. So people open email. People have the habit of going to spam folder and checking all the spam. So that habit has not died. I'm not saying because of my age. I have done some research on which medium works well. Email still works. SMS is too much of invasion into privacy. So you can stick on to email, event or small email, the same email. Don't feel shy to send a follow-up every week. If choose a day, definitely not Monday, definitely not Friday. Okay, so remember one thing about UAE, Monday and Friday, we guys won't work. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is a very good day. Tuesday is a very good day. 9 o'clock in the morning, that if that mail hits their mailbox, if the LinkedIn connection goes to them, then that works like charm. The open rates are extremely high. So, these are all some small techniques, but that works. People, you just now heard from Arshad, in just 4.5 months, how he built his community from 0 to 17,000. So that definitely works. And that also gives a very good credibility, right? Before you send a connection to all these guys, do little bit branding on your LinkedIn profile as well. Go to the description, write a clear message about what's your intention for being in LinkedIn. I am here to solve this particular problem, and I'm open to connect any folks to give my experience. By the way, I also have a product which can be used for your this thing, right? So you can put these messages, a nice photo, a good branded photo, and a nice banner which talks about your skill, right? So LinkedIn is all about your credibility. So once that LinkedIn profile page is good, and if you have some 1,000+ connections, or 2,000, 3,000, or 5,000+ connections, then people will accept your connections immediately. When you have 103 connections with no photo and there is no header, and when you try to contact a government person, he will first think that it's a bot which is trying to connect to him. So do these basic homework and then start connecting. That's one good way of doing it. Next, take a visit visa. Come here on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Before coming here, just do some scanning on what are all events which are happening in this region. Come and attend those events. Jitex is a very good event for networking. Other than that, nothing happens there. It's a money spinning business. People go and put their booths, not expecting that customer will come to them and buy their products, but expecting that they can go and meet other booth guys and share their cards to other booths. One thing for sure is there is 4,000 other booths. In 5 days, you will not have time to go to those 4,000 booths to share. Most of the business in the valley thrives because business sells product to other business. Business does not sell product to customer, because that's the fastest way of reaching. And how do they do that? My neighboring booth on the left, my neighboring booth on the right, and one booth in the front, one booth in the back is one customer per day. So from that perspective, Jitex is a good one. Come here, visit, attend events, try to join this WhatsApp groups. Don't spam the WhatsApp groups with your long messages. Follow the same approach. I'm sure you will be able to figure out one thing, which is, are you having a solution which is really solving a problem? Yes or no? If nobody is responding to your message, I'm sorry to say that you figure out that your solution is common. Everybody is solving that solution and you don't have anything unique. So you have to start working on how to make your this thing unique. Other than that, there is no other reason. Like Arshad pointed out, Bansan pointed out, the guys here, they are hungry for technology, so they want technical products in their company. they want latest, they want greatest, and they don't care about money. So if quality and you have something great, something, if people are not responding, that's the only reason. If you imagine he didn't check my mail, if I check my mail and if I get a chance to talk, then he will get impressed. No, people here are very, very smart. They receive hundreds and hundreds of email every day. They look out for that unique thing which solves a problem. I think if you allow me, I'll keep on talking. So I'll stop here. We have crossed.
No, I think Satish, very relevant point. Last question to Bansan before we go on to the audience question as well. Bansan, we talked about AI a lot over here. Robotics, right? How do you see this market looking at robotics and deep tech solutions in this space? And how excited are they? How do you get in with this type of products?
Yeah, Taha, like before just answering that, I want to I cannot stop myself from adding what Satish as well as Arshad was telling, just to double tick the same thing, underline the same thing. See, in UAE, unlike India, don't take me wrong, the people seriously look for your LinkedIn profile. See, even when we get a lot of connects from Indian people, their last post was 1 year before. That was I was promoted as the the manager. You don't seriously take it. But here in UAE, if you seriously look into, see, you make it a proper place where you properly communicate what you have to communicate. And as Suresh was telling, eh, Dubai don't take, UAE don't take they take est. That is greatest, highest, largest, biggest, first. All IST is something that or EST is something that the market is seriously looking into, and that is something that if seriously you have to work on. Don't even use LinkedIn, just since we were talking about LinkedIn again and again. Don't just start it for the sake of doing it, but create no value content in that. Trust me, for me, my business, after seeing what we have done, it's not posting in website or no, I'm just sharing in LinkedIn. People see value and they come, seriously do business. Seriously, they do business with us. And yeah, coming to your question, Taha, see, now UAE is next thing. Dubai is very famous for trading and tourism, but now the government very seriously want to bring uh, kind of tech capital of the whole world as Dubai. That's why they are doing a lot of things. And AI, you were talking, Sudesh was talking, Arshad was talking about a lot of things. And now in terms of robotics, couple of months back, the uh, the what to say, Sheikh Hamdan, who is the Deputy Prime Minister of UAE, as well as the Crown Prince of Dubai, had come up with a robotics strategy where they are planning to make 100,000 industrial grade robots in Dubai by 2030. And all these things, if you look into the government policies, this is one of the, I don't say it's one of the only country in the whole world who have a AI ministry, or who have these kind of ministries, or departments to take things forward. So in terms of robotics, government is putting a lot of effort. They want the the things. I know might be it's because of robotics that we find it very easy to enter the government people and all, as Arshad and Sadish was telling, the POC, that's, it's very, very, very important. And POC, if I'm going to meet a police department, I need to create a POC which is relevant to Dubai police, or whichever police that I'm going to. I cannot show that, okay, I have done a solution for real estate and I can do it for police. They will not take it. So that kind of mindset we need to have. And in terms of robotics, government is pushing, giving a lot of opportunity. All the departments, they want to try out many things. In terms of, the first thing is, as everyone was saying, it was into the customer care, the customer happiness, the front end thing, the marketing, the phase. From then, if you're able to give a proper solution out there, then you can get into the next phase. But yes, Dubai is now seriously looking into making things within Dubai also, and that is something the government is very much interested in. We have lot of initiatives, like even in Sharjah, if you might have heard about SRTIP, where like the government itself is funding huge in terms of like making things here in UAE itself. Yes, all looks very prospective, and I mean, only if you have a product which can be shown to UAE people with that quality, yes, this is a very good place. And do come to UAE, explore the market. But yes, keep in mind, little expensive than India, but like give a try. Make yourself look good, not the way that I'm sitting here right now, but yeah, I mean, you and your product and your company should look good. And but yes, what my experience is that even when you send them the emails and all, yes, they respond, but at the very same time, they are, I mean, it's not like they are, I know, for to me, like sometimes people in my community used to tell that no, these people are a little lazy, they don't do enough research. But trust me, nowadays, if you send a mail, they will look into your company, what you have done, all those things. They will research about us, and then they will talk things that we have done, then no, we present ourselves. So that's what I have experienced in robotics also, like that kind of shift where like the government is, I mean, all the departments are open to any new hardware, any new solution. In that case, yes, the government is supporting us.
No, I think absolutely, Bansan. Thank you so much for that. And I think the insight that you brought about one thing, this market is always looking for the best, and for them, the money is not the challenge, but the quality that they're expecting in return. I think that becomes super critical, and that's just the mindset of the people. Also, that's the mindset of what the audience over here or the users over here expecting from any venture. And very good insight. I also, was I learned that if you're experimenting, it's good to experiment back in India. But if your product is fully matured and it's now ready to go out, I think that's a good time to come in over here, because that's the expression that's always going to come in. We have a few audience questions over here. The first one was, we will talk a lot about what you should be doing. Any feedback from the speakers on what you should not be doing, the don'ts of how challenges could be in coming into this market itself, right? One, certainly, from what I could hear from Sathish and everyone, is don't come unprepared, don't just come there. I think the preparation, the structure that Sathish mentioned was beautifully done, where you have a very strong, compelling story that you're sharing out. Anything else that you guys feel that founders should not be doing when they're thinking about UAE market?
See, Taha, one thing which whenever when we say that you should have the presence in UAE, initially don't invest too much into your, I mean, things related to the presence. See, I'll give you, when our example, we kind of burned around 2 million dirham just to, I mean, create our initial presence over here. I mean, not just talking about COVID alone, but like, see, that was not completely required. But uh, yes, minimum presence requirement is very much needed, and the government and other departments are so nice that there are a lot of platforms where, as Arshad was talking, like Coders HQ. I mean, see, it's like, I mean, anyone can go there if you have the right connect over there, and even if you don't have a connect, you go there, tell you have some good thing to provide for the community, and it's not you who is promoting your event, it is the government body itself is promoting your event. I think, Ashad, you had done a couple of events, and we are now doing in the coming week couple of events in Coders HQ, and it's open. It's open. That kind of openness, I mean, I don't know, that might be there in India, but like this is something like, you can easily get access to. So that is one thing, like, see, don't to invest too much initially to get connected with. But yes, as Sadesh was also telling, see, for your look and feel, spend some good money, then give a try. And again, for Jitex, he was giving you the right example. So people are so desperate to take stalls, like even in 2019, when we started, we were also like, even though into education, we were so desperate to have a stall, but somehow we were smart enough to rent our few robots for a like mind-blowing price, and in return we shared a good space with a big company over here. So we just got the stall opposite to Microsoft. I mean, just opposite to Microsoft, and like it was a great. So you can be wise enough to spend money, but like I mean, don't just simply Google and find out like what is the way to impress the market, but like no, be wiser than Google. Like trust me, you will if you are taking the wrong route, you will lose lot of money. But like collab, do good collaborations. See here, like what I felt like, see people are uh, I mean, see again my experience, I don't know, it might be the same with everyone. When we work with the Dubai police and Abu Dhabi police, when we have given our robot to them, they said that, see, our intention is not just to use your POC for our like benefit for few days. They said that keep your robot for a month here, so that people coming here will also have a feel of your product, and we want them to buy your product. See, for the first time I'm listening from a government official that they are keen in, I mean, in our company, that our company should get benefit out of the effort that we are putting in. And that's one thing, like just be wise enough in spending money, as well as have right collaborations. If you don't have good collaborations, I mean, that will be difficult for you. That's what I want to share, Taha.
So perfect,
I
Bansan.
just want to, yeah, I just want to share one thing. Don't feel shy to talk to people. Don't think that you're sitting in a big throne and you have a product which is greatest and people will come to you. That will happen probably, once it has become a global product. Initially, don't feel shy to reach out to people. For example, while this whole meeting is going on, I pinged Bansan. I said, I want a meeting with you. I pinged Arshad. I said that I hear that you are using community tool. Veehive can also solve that problem. I want a meeting with you. I'm not feeling shy, so that's all you need to do. Whether they accept it, whether they listen to you or not is a different thing. But if they can give you that feedback that, I didn't choose you over that for a reason, that is definitely very good feedback, right? So point number one, don't feel shy. Feel free to contact people. Point number two, don't be over persistent, going back to them again and again and again and again. And, have a period designed where, have share in, again, I'm copying from Taha, add value to that company, right? So if that company is a robotics company, if you have heard some news about robotics, especially from the Silicon Valleys or, any places for that matter, share that news first, and then, by the way, meanwhile, did you get a chance to look into this thing, right? So that kind of a value addition approach is really good than sales-led approach. Hi, I have already sent the mail. Now I'm sending one more mail to bring this mail in top of the other mails so that you will get a chance to. These are all like, makes us feel that you think you are very smart, but it doesn't help. See how you can add value to that message. I have learned this from Mr. TM. This time I have quoted. That's all is the messages from me, guys.
No,
All
I
the very
think
best with your, endeavor. Feel free to reach out to us. We are here in Dubai for last donkey's years, 20 plus years. So we know something about this region. Definitely feel free to touch base with us.
absolutely, Satish. I think, like you said, Dubai is a country which is based a lot on Vasta, on relations, right? And that relation is part of the conversation. It's not about me centric, it's about us, right? And that's where the thought process of collaborations, about opening up things. The government has also evolved a lot in that sense. Corporates also slowly are, right? Of course, you will have that competition edge, any place has it. But you're also now seeing a very different mindset coming in. Arshad, any last comments from you? I think we are almost done, or we are over time in our session, but
Yeah,
last comment.
regarding that question, and specifically in UAE, right? As Bansan and Sathish already gave their ideas. For me, it is like, especially for me, when I started my startup, and you need to be little agile. You need to be little agile. You need to change the trend. So when I started my academy, I thought my academy will sell very well. People will buy courses. It was going well. Initially, it was going well. ChatGPT came, the sales started going down. Now people will, why should I spend money when I can learn Python, can do, ChatGPT can do the Python code for me. So there were a lot of things that happened. Then I started changing my model. So all my hard work that I did it for making the courses, putting on the LMS, it did not go for a waste, right? I put it on the community platform and I opened a Netflix model, right? Subscription model. So be agile. I know you cannot stick to, things are changing so fast because of AI. And one thing will never change is your personal brand, your company's brand. So as Bansan and Sathish told, spend some time to build your credibility, network with the right people, talk to the right people, that will always be your personal connection and how you're growing. But the way you work, the way you solve problems will change. So don't stick to just one POC or one type of model. Be agile, learn these communities. Actually, for what I have started, really, I learn a lot of things, right? So many tools are coming in AI which I never heard of. I listen to it, I experiment it, and I incorporate it in my project, right? So these are the things that I will tell you, that you be agile, be ready to learn and change, because things are moving very fast. And UAE also, the way I personally feel, because I'm in the AI field, now everyone is talking LLMs, chatbots. No one is even talking. That is the way, right? That is a craze. That is a good way to get your foot in the door, buy the latest thing. And then you can always build your portfolio and build your later offerings. But you need to be little bit aware of the latest trends and technologies, and know about it. And that is what I will find my final words would be.
Perfect. No, I think this is great. Thank you so much, Siddharth. On the email IDs, we'll share that as well. LinkedIn's also will share of all the speakers, so you guys can actually check over there. But I think it's been a pleasure, Sathish, Arshad, and Bansan, having you over here as well in this session. I think really good insights in terms of how should people look at it. It's always unknowns, the hypotheses are not clear, but you don't know what's happening inside. And the insight that you have shared from what is happening over here, I'm sure it's going to be helping a lot of these founders as well. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you all the audiences also for coming in over here. We have our last session of Beyond on the D2C sessions happening next week. And post that, we actually launch a bootcamp series where we'll bring in some of the key experts from this region, taking master classes around helping you build your GTM strategy, helping you build your brand in this market, helping you understand how do you actually go about creating or pricing your product in this segment, and creating your brand or your awareness over here, right? So while this has been a great learning for us, we believe that a masterclass will help you understand a lot more depth all of these things. Reach out to us at beyond@headstart.in for any queries. Our team is here, and we've also shared the WhatsApp group with all the participants. They can join over there and keep up to date to more things that we are doing specific to helping Indian founders explore the UAE market itself. Thank you, everyone. Hope you guys have a nice weekend as well. A good Friday evening too. And thank you, Sathish, Arshad, and Bansan for joining us.